Welcome back to Goodnight, Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy, and I'm here to read you a bedtime story. And I'm excited because I'm reading you a bedtime story about bedtime. It's a really good book, and it's got one of your favorite characters in it. Somebody we've been reading a lot lately. It's Pete the Cat, and this book is called Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues. Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues. I wonder why Pete the Cat has the bedtime blues. That means something's not going right at bedtime. I wonder what that is. We're going to have to get into this book and find out because we need to go to bed soon and we don't want to have the bedtime blues. Are you ready to get inside this book with Miss Dorothy and find out what's going on at bedtime with Pete the Cat? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up because here we go. Pete the Cat and the Bedtime Blues, written by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete and the gang had a great day. They'd been at the beach, surf and sun, and tons of fun. But when the sun went down, they didn't want the fun to end. Pete had an idea. Hey, how about a sleepover? More time for tons of fun. Groovy, said his friends. Pete's place, let's go. And they all went off to have a sleepover at Pete's house. The party was far out, but they knew they couldn't stay up all night. The gang decided it was time to say good night. They had a lot of fun. Looks like they ate pizza and colored and played with the toys, but now it's time to go to bed. On went the pajamas and out went the lights. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete, said everybody. Pete was just about to catch some Z's when clap, clap, clap. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Grumpy Toad. I don't want to go to bed. I want to clap instead. Clap, clap, clap. Pete covered his head. Pete's ready for bed and Toad's clapping. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Time to sleep. Good night, Pete, said all his friends, and they're going to try this again. Pete tried again to catch some Z's when rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Gus the platypus. I don't want to go to bed. I want to jam instead. Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Time to sleep. The platypus wants to play his drum. Pete wants to go to sleep. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete, said all his friends. Pete closed his eyes to catch some Z's when he heard munch, munch, crunch, crunch, munch, munch. Pete had a hunch it was Alligator. He was always up eating. What could Pete do? All the clapping, rat-a-tat-tatting, and munching was giving him the bedtime blues. But Pete had a groovy idea. He got out his favorite bedtime story and started to read. First to himself and then to the gang. See, just like us, Pete knows that a good story will get you ready for bed. Pete noticed it was finally quiet. No more clapping, no more rat-a-tat-tatting, and no more munching. They all settled down. No one made a sound. They're listening to the story, and they're getting tired. Pete yawned and turned off the light. Good night. Sleep tight. Time to catch some Z's. Tomorrow was another day for surfing, sun, and tons of fun.
Yay!
Pete finally got to go to sleep. That was crazy. Pete had a great day with his friends, and he invited them all over for a sleepover, but nobody wanted to sleep except Pete. They kept making noise. They were munching and crunching and banging on drums. That's just silly. We don't do that at bedtime. And Pete had to solve the problem, and he did, the same way we do. He read a bedtime story that calmed everybody down and helped everybody to go to sleep. This was a good book. And look, now Pete's dreaming about having another great day tomorrow, just like we can dream about when we go to sleep tonight. Because, just like for Pete, it's our bedtime too. This was a lot of fun, but now it's time for us to quiet down. No munching, no crunching, no banging on drums, no clapping like a frog. It's time for us to go to sleep. So I need you to get under your cover, get cuddled up, curled up, cuddled up, ready for a good night's sleep. Give Mom and Dad lots of hugs and kisses. And remember, as you go to sleep, dreaming about what tomorrow's going to bring, when you wake up tomorrow, there's one very important thing you need to do. Obey, and obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy. I'm going to be sitting right here, ready to read a book to you. Bye! Thanks for reading with Miss Dorothy. I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you'll come back soon to read another. What's your favorite book? Drop Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. I'll go find it, and I'll read it to you. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you soon.